And a woman who was behind the wheel in a high-speed crash that killed 3 young men is sentenced. Among the victims, former Minnesota Viking rookie cornerback Khyree Jackson.
Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell is bringing us the very latest from Upper Marlboro.
It was a high-speed crash along Route 4. 2 cars racing well over 100 miles an hour, both drivers over the legal limit for alcohol. Cori Clingman driving her Infiniti sideswiped an uninvolved driver. That touched off a chain reaction which forced Isaih Hazel, who was driving his Dodge Charger at 138 miles an hour, off the road. Hazel was killed along with his passengers, A.J. Litton and Minnesota Vikings rookie player Khyree Jackson. The 3 young men had been high school and college football stars. Clingman was a close friend. It was a tragedy which touched many in the community. The funeral for Jackson and Litton packed a megachurch. Clingman pleaded guilty to 3 counts of negligent homicide last fall. Her sentence of 3 years, part of her plea deal. She apologized through tears in court Wednesday after hearing tearful impact statements from Jackson and Litton's parents. Her lawyer says her remorse is genuine.
This tragedy was so immeasurable, so intense, so very difficult for her to make it through. And the reality is she wanted closure, she wanted to admit, she wanted to convey her remorse to the families and move on with her life.
State's Attorney Tara Jackson hopes the crash and sentence send a signal.
I'm especially talking to our young people. We get out here, young people, and you think you're invincible and you think that it'll be okay. And today we saw that it's not always okay. Speed and alcohol kills.
Well, joining you now live from the courthouse, the actual sentence was 5 years for each of the lives lost, suspending all but 1 year each, adding up to 3 years. But the judge is giving Cori Clingman credit for time she spent in home detention, so her actual sentence works out to a bit less than 2 years behind bars. Scott?
Yeah, so Brad, to that exact point, if the credit for time on home detention brings that sentence down to less than 2 years of serving more time here, that's for taking 3 lives. What does the state's attorney have to say about that?
Yeah, and a lot of people ask that question, right? 2 years, 3 lives lost. Well, the state's attorney says a lot of things are factored in here. The judge actually, decides what the sentence is. And among the things he considers is that this was not a conscious decision to go out and take lives. These were people who were important to her. It was a car crash that was caused by a really bad decision to go out and drive. And it should also be pointed out that the other car, the one that the 3 football players were riding in, well, that one was being driven at 138 miles an hour as well. A lot of bad decisions made that night.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it. Brad, what about emotions in court? What did the family members tell the judge?
Scott, I have been to many sentencing hearings in this courthouse and other courthouses over the years. This was one of the most emotional that I have ever attended. Khyree Jackson, many members of his family got up and spoke. A letter was read from his brother, who was only 12 years old. Imagine being 12 years old. You've got an older brother who's in the NFL, your absolute hero. He lost that brother. Khyree Jackson's father getting up and speaking. This was his pride and joy he lost. The same with the Litton family as well. These were high-performing young men. They succeeded in high school. They succeeded in college. They were well on their way, and their family members got up and said they will never forget the horror of that morning, that very early morning when they got the call. Their lives, they say, will never be the same. In Upper Marlboro, Brad Bell, 7 News.